We're going to do something that you probably haven't seen before. It's very exciting stuff.
Whoa.
We've got 7 sports and we've got 7 athletes.
A little bit obscure, but like super fun. Red mate.
Red mate.
And.
What?
That's when you say Chris.
Oh.
All right, and.
Chris.
What do we got on today?
Something very different for us. Normally we're talking about football, Premier League, kind of interesting topics around that. We're going to do a bit of a hypothetical here, something that we're just going to discuss. We've got...
I feel like this is probably a bit of a pub talk, to be honest. Like,
Okay.
you know, you were down the pub with your mates. This is the sort of chat that usually does pop up. Like, it's a little bit obscure, but like super fun.
Definitely a good chat to have with your friends, and we could come up with some answers here that people could have a huge different range for a number of reasons too. But essentially, we've got 7 sports and we've got 7 athletes. And what we're going to do...
How many? 7 sports?
7?
7 sports and 7 athletes.
No, that's not 7, that's just the group.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
the
okay.
group.
Sorry.
We're going to swap all the athletes to play a different sport, and we're going to try to optimize the best outcome in terms of which athletes would be best at a different sport. And obviously there's a few rules. You can't pair the athlete into their own sport, obviously, and you can't use the same athlete more than once. So each of the 7 athletes needs to play a different 7 sports, and we're just looking for the best outcome. Who would be the best at another sport?
Yeah, within that set of rules.
Yeah, do you understand?
I think I understand. Do you understand?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, okay, cool. Do you want to quickly run through some of the athletes and some of the sports?
Yeah. Well, I'll say the sport, and you say the athlete.
Okay.
Basketball.
LeBron James.
Football.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Tennis.
Rafa Nadal.
Swimming.
We've got Michael Phelps.
We've got NFL. American football.
Oh, American football. Oh, we've got Tom Brady.
Golf.
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 We've got Tiger Woods.
And MMA.
We've gone for Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I think it's worth pointing out there's obviously a lot of big names in there. Some of them arguably, the best in their field, the greatest of all time, but also some, we've gone for as they may be the biggest name in the sport, the likes of Conor McGregor, I'd say is probably the biggest.
I think for now it's probably best that we don't go into any sort of like GOAT debates. We've probably just gone with people who could arguably seen as the biggest personality or the biggest
person who kind of represents
their sport quite well. But also we probably did help ourselves out slightly, and we did pick some athletes that may be transferable. For example, we could have gone for like a Lionel Messi.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But we went with a Cristiano Ronaldo just because I think most people would agree that he's a bit more of an athlete.
I mean, already I would say he's better at most other sports, given his physique and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right.
But just putting that on the line, we're not saying these are the GOATs. Because
no. That's
a different topic.
Different topic altogether. All right, so let's get started. We'll start with the sport, and then we'll throw a few names in terms of who can go into that sport rather than starting with the athlete and trying to get a sport for him. We'll start from the bottom of that list, and we'll start with MMA/UFC.
Yeah, possibly one of the hardest ones, I think, to get an athlete in for. You look at sport, obviously it's mixed martial arts, so there's so many different styles, different techniques, different sports all combined into the one. So this athlete has to be well-rounded. Straight away, some exclusions we could probably put is Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he's one which you see him on the football pitch. He's maybe not the most into that physical contact as much. Obviously, the name of the game of like your MMA is to hit someone in the face.
And you might get hit as well.
Yeah. As hard as possible.
Yeah.
I'd probably say he's not inclined.
Nah, too much of a moneymaker.
Yeah. There are some athletes on there you probably could see transferring well. I'm thinking of LeBron James. Obviously, he's just a pure specimen of an athlete.
We could use him in all of these sports.
He's probably the one. I think maybe swimming might be the outlier for LeBron James. But apart from that, I think he's probably a shoo-in for all the rest.
Yeah.
So he's an early one. Nadal, obviously, pretty muscular guy. Can be quite fiery on the tennis court as well. So you'd think maybe he's a good shout for an MMA. Then someone like Michael Phelps, who is very tall, very long limbs. But I think he's actually quite light, isn't he? I'm not too sure of his weight.
I think that's probably going to work for his advantage. In that
obviously,
sense.
Swimming sports, so he's got to have nice, powerful arms. He's got to have that good leg drive, good kick. So a couple of skills or a couple of attributes that may transfer well there.
I was going to say, it's probably worth pointing out that we've got a mix of individual sports and team sports.
Yes. Yeah.
And we've got a mix of ball sports and non-ball sports. So, mixed martial arts, non-ball sports. So already you mentioned about Phelps probably being a bit light, and I just immediately think about, MMA, and you got the weight classes.
Yeah.
And being really tall with the extra reach in a lighter weight class is a huge advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
So already I'm kind of leaning towards Phelps here.
Yeah, I guess the only thing for Phelps would be that he is the outlier and he does a wet sport. All of the others are a dry sport. So he's in a pool, he's horizontal pretty much the entire time. All the others are standing on their feet on land. So that's kind of the only curveball to that one.
What about that wrestling? I mean, he's going to be on the ground, on his back maybe.
Yes. Sorry, you definitely took that literally. Yeah, I see what you mean. They definitely are horizontal. I'm not sure if one arm over is going to cross parallel to wrestling, but I definitely see what you mean. Yeah.
The issue we have with Phelps is going to be putting someone into swimming.
Yes.
The issue, I mean, is probably not as much, what skills has Phelps got that are transferable. I think it's going to be really difficult when we get to it to put someone into the swimming category. But
yeah. So do we want to just go now? We'll put some outline names in, and we can.
We can go back. We can go back.
Yeah, I think I'm happy to go for an outline of Phelps. You seem happy with that one. I think LeBron is a good one for me. I'm happy to kind of have him hovering around there.
He's a weapon.
Yeah. Could you imagine him just staring the other side of the cage? You wouldn't want to mess with that. So he's like an outline plan for me.
Yeah, I probably don't know the UFC well enough to kind of know if someone's 6'8", have they got many guys in there? What is their weight like? And what the heavyweight's obviously going to look very different to the lower weight classes. But I think when we mentioned Phelps being quite tall and you may be quite light for his size, that's a huge benefit at least on paper.
Yeah.
And then obviously he's got. He does an individual sport, MMA. I think, that's probably a decent name just to put forward for now.
All right, let's pencil that in.
All right.
You seem pretty set on that one.
Yeah, well, I just think it'll go well. Okay.
Oh, you're out of the blocks early with that one, hey?
Oh, God. I just thought we'd just dive straight in and just chuck him in.
You're going freestyle on that one.
All right, so the next sport we'll go to is golf.
Yeah, wow. I think an early shout that would be easy would be Rafa Nadal. Ball sport, got to swing, got to hit that one. Obviously, difference is tennis ball's moving, golf ball stationary. But you would say some actions are transferable, skills are transferable. In terms of body position, you might be looking to stand side on and then swing through. Transfer seems pretty close.
Yeah. The interesting thing about golf is it seems to be like the second sport for a lot of professional athletes. I guess it's one of those things that you have to put a lot of time into, and if you're already quite an athletic person, you can kind of apply a lot of these things, and it does take a lot of time, patience, technique. But you see like Steph Curry, really good at golf. A lot of tennis players will pick it up.
Speaking of American athletes, there, Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure I've seen him do a couple of golf.
Actually, yeah, he is a good golfer.
So he could be a good one. I mean, again, super wealthy, and like all these sports, as you say, that's a really good point that I like. Golf seems to be the second sport of pretty much every athlete on the professional scene. So that's a curveball, because I definitely know I've seen stuff with Tom Brady playing golf.
The only issue with Tom Brady is, he's obviously quite an athletic guy as well, pretty tall. I feel there's probably other sports he'd be better at than golf.
Well, like NFL?
Well, he's obviously pretty good at that. But, I was kind of already in my mind kind of thinking ahead, and I was already kind of looking at him and how well he'd do at basketball. Just kind of being American, like I said, he's pretty tall as well. It's likely he's played a bit growing up. The fact he's American too.
It is a good shout.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if we clarified this at the start, but we're obviously talking specifically about these athletes themselves, and not, LeBron's representing a basketball player and Tiger Woods is representing a golfer. Gotcha. We are specifically referring
to that athlete who happens to play the sport.
Yeah. So like I said, Tom Brady being American, he's far more likely to have played basketball growing up. I mean,
does that mean Phelps is in with a shout of being put in for basketball maybe as well?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't rule him out. But I mean, Tom Brady, who's obviously come from playing a ball sport as well, and you think about like when he's a quarterback throwing a perfect pass, that to me seems more transferable to basketball when you're actually shooting in a ring, versus Phelps, who's not dealing with a ball.
Yeah, okay.
And I mean, the only thing you'd say for Phelps with basketball is that he's tall and he's American. So you're kind of like, he's probably played, he might have been okay. But I think probably this is more the side where the American footballer Tom Brady as a quarterback I think he's probably got some better skills suited for basketball.
Yeah,
and
it
probably
is
more
interesting. You
experience.
mentioned as well team sport. Talking about taking a team sport athlete
Yeah,
into a
that too.
different team sport from NFL to basketball versus taking Phelps, who would be an individual athlete from swimming, putting him into a team sport. Would that go so well? Who knows?
Well, even especially like Tom Brady as a quarterback, very much pulling the strings and controlling a team from that position. If he then goes into basketball where there's only 5, that's a lot smaller team, and he can have a huge influence in that team.
Yeah.
And then he's got a lot of those assets that I think would really benefit. So, I mean, like you said, he probably has played golf and he would be great. But if we put him in there, who's then going to be a good suitor for basketball?
Yeah, that's a good point.
If you just look through the other names now, I mean, obviously basketball, everyone knows it's a huge benefit to be tall. You know, Ronaldo's above average, but, you know, on the basketball court, he's going to be quite short. I think he's about 6'2". Nadal, he must be around 6 foot. Conor McGregor, pretty sure.
I think Nadal's cheekily tall, isn't he? I think he's 6 foot, same height as Fed.
He's 6'1" at best, I think.
Yeah.
So for me, I think basketball is probably also maybe a sport where we might struggle to get someone into.
We've not done ourselves any favours here, have we? So going back to golf, who's your outline pick for golf then?
I wouldn't mind a Nadal in there. I just think like a lot of the precise kind of technique and things that you need in tennis, I think would translate to golf. The way that how many serves has Nadal hit, and you know, just a slight difference is going to mean a ball going in and out, and it's very much the same in golf where it's all about getting everything 100% and having the right technique and the patience and the head game to stay in the zone and everything. And again, it's an individual sport. I think Nadal would be good at golf.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm happy to pencil that in as an outline for now.
Okay. Well, what we'll do, we'll move up to the American football then, the NFL.
Yeah. I think this is probably the bit of the curveball here as well because, again, this is very much only an American sport. So being an American plays an advantage over the others. So that is where LeBron steps up. I think Tiger Woods, obviously American as well. I'm not sure how he would go playing NFL.
Who, Tiger Woods?
Tiger Woods. So I'm leaning straight away towards LeBron. I think, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have heard that maybe LeBron had possibilities of playing American football. He played it in college,
rings a bell,
you know,
yeah.
there's some kind of link between the two anyway. You might just be a big fan. That might be it. But it's the one sport where I must admit, I know nothing about NFL.
Yeah. Well, a big point then to make, I know in NFL, the positions are very specific. So if you've got a guy in this position versus a guy in this position, these guys are very different in terms of their skills because they do completely different things.
Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even think, like, if you think football, like we'll take goalkeeper out of it, but like a centre-back and a striker, they would be different. But, you know, for the most part at the professional level, you should say, you know, even if it's 5-10 minutes, they should be able to switch around. Tennis is obviously individual sport. Basketball, within reason. Obviously, I do know there is height discrepancies and whatnot, but in terms of skill and the ability to express those skills or physical attributes of like jump, run, turn, you would think most basketball players could play all positions on a basketball court within some reason. That is a great point about NFL. It's the one sport where you look at like the difference in body shape alone between
Well, you got some big guys there who are there just to block.
Yes.
And then you got guys like the wing who are just rapid, absolute speed. And then you've got the quarterback.
Yeah, who's maybe more technical and tactical. Yeah, very good point.
So if we're putting someone in NFL, I mean, there's a range of positions and skills required. So it's not just like, oh, this guy's like, you know, your generic NFL player. I think in that sport, you kind of grow up and you're like, oh, yeah, you're this position because you're nowhere near the skills required to play any other position.
Yeah. I think something LeBron is jumping out as that then. Like, because if I said to you, 100-meter sprint, he's going to be up there. If I said to you, like, heaviest deadlift, he's going to be up there. Like, all these sort of maybe physical markers that we could put towards these athletes, he's going to rank top 1, top 2, top 3 for all of them. So he's jumping out to me for NFL.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I guess if we got like anyone in America watching who's a big NFL fan, it'd be good to like get some thoughts there as well, in terms of what they think. Similar to you in the fact that I'm pretty sure I've heard that LeBron has definitely had some experience playing like the American football growing up. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, you see him and he's like the perfect athlete and he's massive. You can't really floor him.
Yeah.
All right, so let's put LeBron in there because like I said, even if we are looking at a number of positions, to us as an outsider, it seems like he still would do quite well. All right, so we'll move up to this is probably the hardest one, to swimming.
Oh, yeah. I think, again, I touched on it before. Like it's the wet sport. They're all dry sports.
Yeah.
You know, you can put. If we think about like the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, you know, we can challenge people physically in all these capacities. But what's the level that they always do? Is they always just put people in the water, and that just kind of freaks them out.
And they're useless.
Yeah.
You could be like the fastest runner, the best cyclist.
Yeah,
like,
the strongest mentally.
Yeah,
Like you can't be
absolutely
cracked.
anything.
Drop them in the pool, and they're just like, oh.
Yeah. Like it's something that
gone.
you need to just train for to be good. You can't be like, oh, you know, I did this sport growing up, so I could be good at swimming. It's like, no, you need to have swum before.
Yes.
To be good at swimming, you can't just play any other sport. The way we talked about like tennis, you know, you could get some skills that transfer to golf and things. Like, if you've not swum before, you can't just jump in it and work it out. Like, it's pretty tough.
Well, if you've not swum before and you jump in, you're dead.
You don't jump out.
Yeah, you're not jumping. Whereas, you know, all the other sports, like if you jump on a football pitch and you're not good, nothing happens. Like tennis, you're just losing to love in tennis. You know what I mean? Like maybe MMA is the odd one out because you are getting knocked out. But
that's
like,
a dangerous place to be as well.
Yeah, but swimming is the one. Like if you can't swim, you are dead.
You're going to be climbing the ladder.
Yeah, for sure. So this is a difficult one, I think, to place because it's. I mean, this discussion is hypothetical, but this one is like the ultimate because we've never really seen any of them swim. I think we're kind of getting towards that point of the danger zone because I think already we've looked at swapping LeBron, who's a basketball player, with Tom Brady, who's NFL, and we've done a direct swap. We've got Nadal playing golf. I don't want to end up putting Tiger Woods playing tennis.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? And it seems like we're kind of going that way already. So if I'm looking at that, I'm looking at, well, who's left? We've got Ronaldo could swim. We've got Tiger Woods or Conor McGregor. They're the three athletes we have left.
I'm just going to say now, I'm leaning towards Ronaldo in the swimming.
Yeah, okay. Why is that?
I think, you know, again, he I'd say similar to Phelps. Like he's, again, like tall and average. You'd say he's quite, these days, he's a bit more of like not a lean build, but a very athletic build, and he's definitely not too muscly. It's not going to slow him down in the water. I think for someone his age who's famously taking care of himself and all these things that the swimmers do in terms of making themselves really aerodynamic and no, there's something flying around. No, there was something flying around. It's totally happening. You can see Ronaldo swimming.
Cut shapes.
No, there was something flying around me. Yeah, I just think he's someone that, I don't know, I can just see him as a swimmer. I think for someone who plays a team sport,
yeah, great point.
You see him still very much invested in himself and very interested. You know, he does things outside of training on his own in recovery, and there's very much like, oh, here's my level and here's my team. The team need to come to my level, and you know, he's got a lot of like captaincy roles and things where he is inspiring like the younger kids. But he's not someone who you'd ever be like, oh, he's so reliant on his team. He's very much someone who will grab it by the scruff of the neck and try to win a game on his own. And I say that in a good way, in the fact that's my reasoning as to why he can go from this team sport to this swimming sport or an individual sport. I mean, I don't know what his experience is with swimming, if he's done any of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just looking at him, I think he could transfer across.
I think you've made some great points there, and you think, well, something we'd probably say about Ronaldo is that mentality, and that might seem stupid because we've got a list of arguably best evers, so the mentality across the board is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
But we've discussed maybe the issues around swimming the sport. I think of some of the other ones, maybe a Conor McGregor or a Tiger Woods, in terms of we've seen maybe both of those athletes mentality-wise, they had it to get to the top, and when they've been at the top, things externally have maybe made them drop. Ronaldo's the one that throughout his career, he's been at that top level. You know, what's he now, 37, 38?
Yeah.
And people will still be like, he is the best. You know, that's a debate for another time. But I think mentality-wise, we're like, hey, we're going to take you into an uncomfortable zone and you're going to have to train. His mindset is, okay, no matter what that is now, I'm going to be the best ever. And I think he is better suited to maybe that swimming, which is the odd one out sport-wise, versus a Conor McGregor who, you know, his win record right now is not the best. Maybe since he's got all the money coming in, maybe a bit money-driven. Good on him. Why not? Tiger Woods obviously had some off-field issues, fallen off the cliff a little bit, injuries as well. But I think you've made some great points about athleticism, and for me, I think mentality is huge. So I think Ronaldo could probably fit
Yeah,
well.
so swimming's probably the hardest one to put in terms of skills that can be transferable. So I think we're both looking for other attributes, like you mentioned,
Yes.
mentality and stuff, as to a reason why we should put someone in.
Yeah. Speaking about mentality, I think Nadal, I know we've kind of placed him already, but I think he's another one where I could see him just being like, okay, tunnel vision. This is like an obscure thing, and I'm going to dominate.
Yeah, he's such like a disciplined guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've observed it in his career and how he plays, and currently he's got the most Grand Slams, so it just shows how much he's excelled in tennis. I think the fact that we've already kind of penciled him in. I mean, a lot of these we could swap one or two around, but I mean, I'm happy to leave it as it is, leave Nadal where he is, put Ronaldo in the swimming.
Yeah.
For the reasons mentioned. All right, so last two we've got football and we've got tennis.
Yeah, and the two athletes we have left are Tiger Woods and Conor McGregor.
Okay, so it's good that we can chuck these in either. I mean, there's no decision made for us based on if it was their sports left.
Yes. I mean, Conor McGregor, this is probably one where, similar to LeBron, having played other sports, I know that I've definitely read that he's played football when he was younger, maybe even into his early adulthood as well. We know, unfortunately, he does support a pretty average team.
Well, so do we right now.
Wow. Let's not talk about that. It's going to make me cry soon. So we know that he kind of maybe has some previous history with football. I think the sport of MMA, we know that you've got to be quick, you've got to be agile on your feet. There's lots of obviously kicking involved. He could be a good fit for football.
Yeah, I think someone like him, like Conor McGregor, growing up in Ireland, football's quite big over there. Like you said, if we've already kind of got an advantage that we know he's played and got some experience, then we're kind of assuming already that he's going to be better than Tiger Woods at that.
Yeah.
And like you said, he does post photos on Instagram and stuff of him wearing like kits and stuff. So, at least there's some kind of interest there, which even more leans towards it. And the fact that he does a sport where there is kicking involved, I know that the technique and everything is very different.
Yes.
But it shows that he is using his legs and he needs the balance and he's on one foot, on 2
Footwork,
feet.
super important, change of direction.
So things like that are what can be transferable.
Yeah, I think worth a shout, you said like previous history, going to sound like we've made the LeBron category for all of these. I'm going to make the Nadal category for all of these then, in that, big Real Madrid fan, we see him on the tennis court juggling the tennis ball all the time. Could be, I know we've penciled him in for that golf, but could be a great shout for football.
Oh, Nadal would be great. I mean, yeah, like you said, I've seen him kicking a ball around and he's regularly at the Real Madrid games, like attending and watching as a fan. So based on that alone, you kind of assume that he's got some experience playing. And football's obviously massive in Spain where he comes from. Where did we put Nadal? And we put him in
for golf.
If we put Nadal in for football, we can't put Tiger Woods in golf, and it means Conor McGregor's playing golf.
Yeah.
I can't really see that. I can't see Conor McGregor on a golf course.
Yeah.
Something about that I just can't see.
Yeah, okay. So leaning towards Conor McGregor for football?
Yeah, well, I think he would be good at football.
Okay.
I don't think there's any need to... I mean, Nadal would be great, but Nadal needs to kind of play golf for us, for Conor McGregor to play football. They can't. Okay. We can't swap those two.
Yeah.
In those
so then
sports.
That means that Tiger's ended up playing tennis. By default, one left.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it feels like a bit of a cop-out, the fact that him and Nadal have swapped.
But we've also swapped LeBron.
And we've swapped LeBron and Tom Brady. I mean...
I don't think there's too much we could do about that. We'll run through quickly what we think outline we've done and then maybe look at some discussions around it. So we'll go from the top down now. So for basketball, we ended up going for...
Tom Brady.
For football, we ended up choosing...
Conor McGregor.
For tennis?
We've got Ronaldo.
I thought we had Tiger Woods. And Ronaldo for swimming.
You're right. Say it again.
So for tennis...
We've got Tiger Woods.
For swimming...
We've got Ronaldo.
For NFL...
LeBron James.
For golf...
Nadal.
And then for MMA...
Phelps.
So within that, we've got 4 sports, 4 athletes that we've kind of just gone like A and B swapping to B and A, and then C and D swapping to D and C. In that we've got basketball, NFL, LeBron, Tom Brady, and then we've got tennis and golf, Tiger and Rafa, just switching.
Yeah, I think tennis and golf are very similar sports. I mean, yeah, like we mentioned as well, a lot of players who do one you tend to see doing the other. I mean, a lot of players who play any sport play a lot of golf, but I feel like the skill is transferable. Even just kind of the fact that like a swing in both sports kind of makes sense, both individual sports too.
Yeah. I think basketball and NFL are the two that I'm kind of happy with that one. Like,
They're both-
I think they're a little bit difficult to change too much. For me, the tennis, golf, is that a bit of a cop-out? So could we look to swap that around a little bit and maybe go, for example, Ronaldo playing tennis and Rafa swimming? We've spoken about mentality for both of those athletes. We've spoken about physical attributes. You know, obviously you can split hairs between which one's got better physical attributes. But to get outside of that, I can see, again, we mentioned Ronaldo's drive, maybe that individual player or individual character within a team sport could transfer over well. Rafa does play an individual sport. He does have this drive and this ambition to succeed no matter the cost. Right-handed player who plays left-handed, like, you know, name a more difficult thing you could do within your own sport than just switch to your non-dominant side. Maybe that could be a good way to change it up so as we've got a bit of variety and we're not just switching sports through. Because for me, Tiger's probably the one where he's difficult to put into too much else. Hang on, did we put Tiger into tennis?
That's what I was going to say.
So that doesn't even work. I've just spoken for 5 minutes and it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, you wasted your breath.
Yeah,
I was going to say, if you did that, I think we're going to end up with someone playing their own sport here. We've swapped Tom Brady and LeBron. We've swapped Nadal and Tiger Woods. And at least Conor McGregor, Phelps, and Ronaldo, we've kind of mixed up. I mean, you wanted to swap, Ronaldo with Nadal. So Ronaldo's playing golf and Nadal's swimming. I think Ronaldo's probably wasted in golf.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think the nature of these sports is, the skills are transferable.
The only other thing you could maybe do is get Ronaldo playing tennis and Tiger swimming.
Tiger Woods swimming.
Seems so disgusted.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think we're sort of hemmed in then, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, we could easily revisit this, lay down the track.
Yeah.
We could do it again. And, we could either learn a few more things, we could get some feedback, we could change our mind on some things, we could swap a sport out or two.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a great time to say that if you've got any comments, make sure you get them in down below. We seem a little bit undecided. Like, I think we're happy, but we're sort of like that 90% happy. So if you've got something that we've missed that could sway that, because, we've played by the rules here. We've got athletes in different sports.
We've played a clean game.
Yeah, we played a clean game. No bookings, but it just feels like a little bit of a cop-out that we've ended up just
I think
switching.
we feel like we've cheated, even though we haven't.
That's what I meant. We played a clean game. No rules are broken.
Doesn't feel right.
But it's almost just like, oh.
Yeah, the fact that we've got like players swapping and then we've done it again. I mean, from sport to sport, it makes sense because we go, oh, these skills in these sports obviously do cross over, so they would be good at each other. But
and it's worth pointing out that we've literally just run through that now. Like, there's been nothing
for the first time.
Yeah, there's been nothing pre-planned here.
Yeah.
But it just does seem almost like it's happened too easily.
I know. And if we were to add like another rule that you can't swap, I mean, it starts getting real complex and it's going to be hard for us to keep track of that. It's definitely something we can revisit.
Yeah.
But we've done it in a way that we have actually tried to optimize the outcomes. And in doing so, we've put these players and swapped sports. I mean, when you do look at it and you go, oh, we've just swapped these two, it's like, oh, you feel like you've let yourself down. But I mean, we're just trying to get the best outcome.
Yeah. And we're almost now changing for the sake of changing.
Now we're like, okay, we're not optimizing it. We're gonna like lessen the outcome just to make it more fun, like little swappy swap.
Yeah. Little what?
Swappy swap.
So quickly, let's run through it. All right. So basketball.
Tom Brady.
Football.
We've got Conor McGregor.
Tennis.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. We got swimming.
We've got Ronaldo.
NFL.
LeBron James.
Bit of golf.
Nadal.
And then MMA.
Phelps. Phelpsy.
Cool. Phelpsy.
Great
On nickname
ever.
basis now, hey?
Yeah, I'm in. Phelps. We're mates.
You know, mate Michael.
Yeah. Greatest ever Olympian. Per the gold medal count.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that one. All right, guys. We had... Well, I know, I'll speak for myself. I had lots of fun with that chat.
Oh, I hated it.
Oh.
Nah, it was good.
Depressing?
Nah, it was good.
Yeah, good fun. So make sure you click that notification bell, subscribe if you haven't already, you know what to do there. Throw a little like on there. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to do a little tap, aren't we? Just make
one
sure.
tap.
Just one tap, one press, you're all set. And anything to close out with?
Yeah, let us know what you guys reckon. I mean, we can see there's so many different outcomes that we could have here with the sports and the athletes. If you guys have got any different outcomes, yeah, obviously chuck it in the comments. And, you know, we'd be interested to see kind of your reason why. We've obviously given our reasons why, but there may be plenty of things we've not thought of, or, yeah, there's just so many variables. It was just a fun discussion to have. So, yeah, let us know your thoughts in there too.
Cool. Good chat, mate. Have fun.
All right, thanks. This is Red Mate.
Red, mate. Take care.
Goodbye.